Well, that is the wrap on our PNW and Oregon adventures. But we've been here for the last 5 months RVing around from the mountains to the Columbia River Gorge to the coastline, and we've got some exciting adventures to show you. Why Oregon, you say? Well, the answer is really simple. It's been on our bucket list for quite a while because neither one of us have spent real time in the PNW. And what we've discovered is whether you're passing through or spending real time, Oregon is a great place to RV.
Put that hand up. Let's see it. Woo! Oh!
They love it.
Here's Johnny.
Yeah, I just finished up my 7th travel nurse assignment and I absolutely loved it. We met some wonderful people. We were lucky enough to come during what everybody said was a beautiful summer and we enjoyed the whole thing, but we also stayed a little bit longer to see some of what winter in Oregon had to offer. Going to different areas where we have never been before, it can be a little difficult to figure out what to do, but we got lots of helpful tips from co-workers, new friends, locals, and of course Google.
Yeah, the Google machine. For our regular subscribers out there, of course, huge shout out to you for always coming to hang out with us.
Yeah, for over 2 years now.
Yeah, and for any new viewers out there that are checking out this Best of Oregon adventure, let's introduce ourselves. I'm Thomas.
I'm Victoria, and we have been all over the country in our RV and seen a lot of cool places. So if you like what you see in Oregon, maybe you should check out some of our old videos, and of course, always hit that subscribe button. Started off trying to come up with a list of our absolute favorites in Oregon, but there were so many great things that we did that we just couldn't decide.
Yeah, so what we decided is we'll show you a little bit of everything, and we'll kick this thing off with what we've found out is one of our new favorite things to do, which is hunt for hot springs.
The PNW is full of hot springs, especially Oregon. There's a mix of different kinds. There's the natural kind. There's also some that are pumped into pools and spas and resorts, and there's some that are private.
Our first hot spring adventure was in the Mackenzie River Valley, and we actually stayed at a campground called Belknap Hot Springs, which was one of the resort hot springs. But within a very close proximity, 2 others, Terwilliger and
Cougar. We're on a very specific mission. We're on the hunt for hot springs.
We found it, but just so you know, it is clothing optional.
This is it. We made it.
Bigelow Springs, again, you can also search it as Deer Creek Springs. This was freaking awesome.
The Belknap Hot Springs. So they pump it in from across the river over there.
How does that feel?
It's pretty hot. It's great. The second place we went hunting for hot springs was in the Umpqua Forest at Umpqua Hot Springs, and it actually became our favorite. It's super pretty, but it also has really cool pools that get cooler as you go down. However, it's also probably the most busy one that we went to.
and found one of the coolest dry camping spots in Oregon. Here we are in the Umpqua National Forest.
As with other things in Oregon, things tend to be clothing optional.
Yeah, that's it.
hot spring, so it's a little tiered, and obviously the higher up you go, the hotter it is, so we're waiting for that spot to clear out.
If you haven't gotten to a natural hot spring, you should probably do that.
I don't think that I had ever been to a hot spring before, and I didn't really know what to expect, but I absolutely love the feeling of getting into some hot water and the outside air is brisk. It's very refreshing.
Much better than a hot tub, and trust that in the future, you're gonna be seeing a lot of hunting for hot springs on Project RV. Up next, there is no shortage of these. Over 1,500 of them in Oregon.
Yeah, it's second only to Washington.
Waterfalls.
Our favorite place to go see waterfalls was the crown jewel of the state parks of Oregon, and it's also the most popular, Silver Falls State Park.
Yeah, more specifically, going on the Trail of 10 Falls.
In case you can't tell, it already has 10 waterfalls right there for you to see.
Silver Falls State Park. We're here for one thing and one thing only.
Waterfalls.
And they got a lot of them.
You can actually go behind 4 of these waterfalls.
Going out with the biggest one.
Double falls at 178 feet.
In fact, we actually found the tallest waterfall we've ever seen, 293 feet. It's called Watson Falls, and it was actually just minutes from a dry camping spot we found in the Umpqua National Forest.
Yeah, it's not what we went for, but I'm glad we went to see it.
I'd say it's worth it. So how big is this thing?
The top tier is 40 feet and the bottom tier is 80. So math, 120.
Nailed it.
That is so high.
That is wild how it just is pure ice at the bottom of this thing.
But this could easily be the biggest waterfall and the coolest waterfall we've ever seen.
Some people might call this place the most picturesque place in the United States. Welcome to the Columbia River Gorge.
Here's what we do know. It's full of outdoor food and booze adventures, and we're about that.
We actually have done part of this drive on our way to Oregon, so I know that it's gonna be very pretty.
So beautiful. Our time spent in the Columbia River Gorge was actually spent in Hood River, where there are a ton of outdoor adventures.
My favorite outdoor adventure was the Fruit Loop, which is this like 30-something mile loop where there's tons of wineries, breweries, fruit stands, all sorts of stuff. I don't know if we can call it outdoor adventures, but we've spent a lot of time outside there.
Had a blast.
Yes.
We're doing the Hood River area in right around 48 hours. Get as much as we can done. So our first adventure is the Fruit Loop.
27 stops full of wineries, breweries, farms, alpaca farms, fruit stands, you name it.
Oh, good job. All right, peach milkshake, let's go.
Cheers.
10 tasters here. She's not playing games.
That's how many fingers I have. Coincidence? I don't think so.
One of the cooler things I thought we did there was the kite surfing. It's actually a major hub for professional kite surfers.
Yeah, in the entire world. These guys were professionals.
This is the mecca of kite surfing actually here in the United States. Professionals train right here behind us. Also got to ride our e-bikes on the old Columbia River Highway, which is actually parallel to the new Columbia River Highway, but they've turned it into a really cool bike path, and we took it all the way to go see some salmon jump the fish ladder.
Yeah, that was lots of fun. It's a pretty place to be lost.
We were gonna hike today, but this is a much better substitute.
Yeah.
Especially after seeing this view. If you know Project RV, you know that pretty much wherever we go, we're trying to get our paddle boards in the water. Well, in this particular situation, we got really lucky because Victoria met some really great coworkers that turned into amazing friends, and they showed us the ropes and a couple of really cool paddleboarding spots. One was Silverton Reservoir. We're like pirates taking over the cove. Look how pretty it is here.
Who drank all the rum?
Jeez.
Our new friends also joined us on my birthday celebration on Foster Lake.
Which was a party. Good job, Whiskey.
That's a good spot.
She really did not want to
You
jump
should
off that
know,
board,
like,
but she was like, I'm out.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh.
But if we're being honest about it, I have to say our favorite paddleboard spot was probably Elk Lake in the middle of the Deschutes National Forest. There's just something about paddleboarding in the shadow of a snow-capped mountain.
All right, gang, let's do this.
When I have consecutive days off from work, we are willing to travel pretty far for some of these adventures. I'm talking like 4 or 6 hours, but why don't we talk about something a little bit closer to our home base?
Yeah, which was Salem, Oregon. So Salem is actually situated smack dab in the middle of the Willamette Valley. And you know what that means?
Wine country.
Lots of booze. Wow. It's awfully nice in here. Are we underdressed? You're not. You look amazing.
Thank you.
It's this guy.
You look great, baby.
Now, speaking of booze, let's talk about 2 of the very fun events that we attended while in the PNW.
We got to go to Oregon's largest Oktoberfest celebration in Mount Angel, which is a little bit outside of Portland.
Picture traditional Bavarian costumes, excessive amounts of beer, and way too much sausage to fit into your face hole.
Everything that you could want in an Oktoberfest celebration.
It's all over the... Did you just bidet the GoPro? All we know about this place is they do Oktoberfest right. It's almost time for the beer Olympics.
Out in front, straight, and go!
Go Oregon State! Tiki-taka, tiki-taka. Tiki-taka, tiki-taka. Tiki-taka, tiki-taka.
While not technically in Oregon, it's definitely in the PNW. One of the things that we wanted to check off our bucket list was to go to an event at the Gorge Amphitheater in Washington.
Now, this is one of the most popular music venues in the entire country, right up there with Red Rocks.
And we did end up going to a really fun festival. In fact, it was Alice in Wonderland based, called Beyond Wonderland. It was so much fun.
And things got real weird, y'all. Now, real quick, let's talk about our favorite town, which is Bend, Oregon. And it's actually kind of one of the reasons that we even ended up in Oregon to begin with, is we saw pictures of it 2 years ago when we started RVing, and we were like, we gotta get there. Well, we just got to visit, unfortunately.
But we did visit like 3 times. I'm pretty sure it's the place that we went to the most in Oregon.
Yeah, and we actually got to share our Bend experience with our friends from San Diego, Mario and Eugenia.
There is so much to do in Bend, including their beer passport where you can get prizes because it is Oregon's beer capital.
Yeah, but if you're more into outdoor adventures, we went hiking, floated the Deschutes River, which, you know, a nice midday river float with lots of booze, always a good time. We went whitewater rafting, and of course, paddleboarding.
And also apparently the sunniest place in Oregon.
Which one makes you happier?
Watch and learn.
Puppy playtime. So here we are.
Are you happy?
You better put that hand up. Let's see it. Woo! Oh! Woo!
But it's not just outdoor adventures. We actually visit the very last store standing of an old franchise that some of you might remember. Mommy and Daddy, what are these little black boxes? If you could only visit one town in Oregon, I would have to say Bend is the one that we would recommend. Now let's talk about Oregon's beautiful coastline. Now we went probably a big chunk of it from middle to northern, Newport to Astoria, so we got to see a lot.
The Oregon coastal experience is a very unique one. We're from the East Coast, and it's way different than what we're used to on our beaches. You might want to pack a wetsuit, not a bathing suit.
Notice they tend to call it the Oregon coast, not the Oregon beach.
That's true. A couple of our favorite coastal activities: whale watching, hanging with the seals, and of course, shipwrecks, because who doesn't like pirates?
We got to visit Astoria, which is Oregon's most northern coastal town, and also home of the Goonies. It has a shipwreck.
That's what we're here for.
Did you get the shot?
I got it.
All right, good job.
We do like the settlers do and get to the high ground, and I think this is the highest place around here, Astor Park, to see this bad boy right here, the Astoria Column. 200 feet tall this thick boy is.
Woo! In 1942, a submarine actually came up to the shore and attacked right here at Fort Stevens.
That's right, this is the Goonies house.
Hey, you guys.
Natural.
Here's Johnny.
And don't take this the wrong way. If you're into fun, rainy fishing towns, Newport might be the spot for you.
It also has a lot of cute shops and restaurants and fun things for the kids, including a Ripley's.
It was very cool.
You hear him.
So many.
many. They're so loud. I love it.
It's like a beautiful symphony.
I love it.
Wow.
I don't think so.
Of course this. You saw it, right?
Yeah, did you see it?
Yeah, look at him. You see his back right there. Definitely saw that whale.
There he is. Yeah.
Welcome to Cobblestone Beach.
Good transition.
You like that, right?
That was good.
You found it. Good job. You're such a good leader.
Tillamook. What else is there to say but cheese? Honestly, it's worth a visit, but that's all there is.
Without looking it up, can you name the state that's missing from their travel map on the back of their RV? It's below South Dakota.
Above Kansas. Take out the goods, let's go.
They demand perfection. If it's not, that piece of cheese goes to the shredded fire.
Are you about to milk this cow? Please milk this cow.
It's good, right?
Pretty good. We decided to make this a completely Oregonian afternoon.
This may be one of the coolest beach spots we've ever hung out in.
It's iconic. It kind of looks like a picture.
This is where we are. See all the cheese?
What did you say?
There's something fishy about this place. Can't put my finger on it. Quick, if you had a boat, what would you name it?
Jeez, that was aggressive.
Don't think too hard about it. All you need is an adjective and a noun.
Is it a fishing boat?
Yes. Sure.
Bite me.
Bite me? I like that.
I don't know.
That's cute. I like it.
No.
Two other coastal towns that we enjoyed but did not spend as much time in were Cannon Beach and Seaside.
Now, Cannon Beach is that iconic Oregon image that you see the big old rocks in the ocean. It's also the shipwreck scene from the Goonies. And Seaside is the end of the Lewis and Clark expedition.
Wow. That's impressive.
We had to stop here at Cannon Beach, Haystack Rock.
Like we mentioned before, I ended up extending my contract to give us a little bit more time and a little taste of the winter adventures in Oregon.
Not too much though.
Specifically, one thing that I always wanted to see was the Timberline Lodge, which is also the outside facade of the hotel from The Shining.
So to get that done, we decided to do a little skiing trip with a couple of friends.
And let me tell you, it is definitely the scariest mountain I have ever skied on, but beautiful.
She did a great job.
At the Timberline Lodge at Mount Hood.
It's also known as the Overlook Hotel from the movie The Shining.
Red rum.
Here's Johnny. Vertical area inbound skiing. In North America, this is number one.
One of the things that we really try and focus on throughout our RV travels is getting to national parks. Well, unfortunately, Oregon's only got one, but it is a crazy one. Welcome to Crater Lake. National Park number 12. Crater Lake National Park, Oregon's only national park, and also the deepest lake in the entire United States. 1,943 feet deep.
The cleanest lake in the United States as well.
You can really start to see how blue this water is. It's crazy.
guess we're gonna find out here in about 24 hours.
Now, once again, I'm gonna hop in with something that's not Oregon, but definitely PNW related.
Yeah, Mount Rainier National Park. It's one of Washington's 3 national parks and may have become our #1 national park we visited.
Now, he might not be able to commit to the #1 on the national park, but I do know for a fact that we found our absolute favorite hike. It was about 5.5 miles, and it's the Skyline Trail.
I feel like she just told y'all I have commitment issues. Skyline Trail. Please, if you can get to it, get to it. Over 5 miles of absolute raw, sexy nature beauty.
It was honestly so beautiful that it brought a little tear to my eye.
Several, I think.
Live your life within the moment, and don't go wait until the morning. You never
6,800. Panorama plane.
All that I know is we'll get older.
No, it's strenuous. We have seen old folks and small children doing this trail. So you probably can do it too.
Our bodies move to the groove and the light that flickers.
I love this hike. Like, I wish we could take all of our friends on this hike.
Get away from the drinks and chatter. Haven't said a word.
Now those were national parks number 13 and 14 that we've done. But if you want to check out the other ones, we'll make sure to link our national park playlist right here for you. And I think that's about it on all of our adventures. We tried to tell you it's a lot, so we did show you a little bit of everything. But if there is something that we missed, we would love your suggestions below, and that would probably help some of our viewers out there as well.
And maybe us later. I mean, I know for a fact there's a few things we missed. Like, I found out after we visited Hood River that you can actually drink on the street there, like in Fredericksburg and in Vegas.
Yeah,
all those.
there's only a few places in the entire country you can do that, and we love to take advantage of that.
We actually also missed a couple of regions. So east of Bend, we didn't see a whole lot of. Apparently there's not a whole lot there, but it's very beautiful.
Our exploring area was from the Cascade Mountain Range over to the coast. We hope we got you some good tips and tricks when it comes to exploring Oregon, whether that's in your RV or just traveling around. Of course, if there's something we screwed up, let us know below. And next Sunday begins our adventure from Oregon all the way back to North Carolina across the country. It's 3,500 miles.
Yeah, it's our longest drive to date, so.
Yeah, but we will have some good travel tips for you when it comes to lodging, gas, travel routes, how to deal with weather, things like that. So we're looking forward to it. We'll see you then.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.